Sheila Johnson and every WNBA star should thank God every morning and every night for Here was her greatest achievement. The biggest reason she was chosen Athlete of the Year by Time, Caitlin Clark lifted the WNBA into the national consciousness, made it a thing for the first time. People everywhere were talking about the WNBA in ways they never did before.
Skip Bayless just unleashed a fiery rant on the WNBA and Caitlin Clark's critics across the sports world. The legendary journalist and commentator didn't mince words, openly condemning the absurd backlash surrounding Clark's Athlete of the Year award.
Skinny white girl was the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA. She's already the most exciting and entertaining player in the league, the entire league, the one you can't take your eye. Time magazine making Caitlin Clark the first ever WNBA player to be Athlete of the Year, and with putting Caitlin Clark on the cover. Johnson said the entire WNBA should have been chosen as the League of the Year and that numerous stars should have been put on the cover.
Here's where things get intriguing. Once upon a time, Skip Bayless was among Caitlin Clark's harshest critics. Yes, you heard that correctly. So what led to Bayless' surprising transformation into one of Clark's most vocal supporters? And why does the WNBA seem to view Clark's success as an issue? We'll unpack all of that and more in this video. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
He said the WNBA has a long legacy of black stars and that, and I quote, something clicked with the WNBA last year because of the draft. It's not just Caitlin Clark, it's Reese, as in, of course, Chicago's Angel Reese. Johnson said, and I quote, there's so much talent out there that's unrecognized, and I don't think we can pin it on just one player. When you single out one, it creates hard feelings, end of quote.
Caitlin Clark's selection as Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year was expected to be a milestone celebration for women's basketball. Instead, it ignited controversy. Sheila Johnson, co-owner of the Washington Mystics, surprised many in the sports world by openly criticizing the decision.
The way media plays out race, I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for
ultimate irony about what Sheila Johnson said about Caitlin Clark. Last season, for Caitlin Clark's 2 visits to Washington, the Mystics moved the games from their little home arena, which seats a little under 5,000, to the Wizards Arena, which officially seats 20,356. And thanks to Caitlin Clark, Sheila Johnson's Mystics drew the WNBA's biggest crowd of the year and the WNBA's 3rd biggest crowd of the year.
Johnson argued that the WNBA should have been recognized as League of the Year, highlighting its collective stars rather than focusing solely on Caitlin Clark. She cautioned that singling out Clark risked fostering resentment and creating division among other players in the league.
About 5,000, averaging about 5,000 for all their other home games, to an average of 20,500 for the 2 Caitlin visits. What? I mean, Sheila Johnson should, I don't know, at least send Caitlin some flowers, because she never gives her any flowers in interviews for sure. But no way should Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark alone be on the cover of Time, or so Sheila indicated. And I say baloney to.
But the situation gets even more complicated. Johnson didn't stop there, hinting at racial undertones in the controversy. She expressed concerns about players of color who, in her view, possessed equal talent but haven't received comparable recognition. Johnson argued that the media's handling of race in sports is intensifying the issue, further deepening the divide.
Feels the need to acknowledge her white privilege. Basically, she's sorry she's white. She feels really bad about it though, so you should give her a pass.
Player was my amour. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important.
Here's where it gets even more surprising. Johnson's own team, the Mystics, has directly benefited from Caitlin Clark's rising popularity. Matchups against Clark's team, the Fever, have attracted record-breaking attendance. This dynamic makes Johnson's criticism appear contradictory, given the undeniable success her team has enjoyed, largely driven by Clark's star power.
Players of the WNBA can't fucking stand her. Why? Because she's white. It's abject, absolute racism.
Decision to make, right? Like maybe in any other year, you give this to Simone Biles, because I think her comeback in the Olympics was amazing. I mean, people pretty much did the postscript on her career. And after what happened to her in Tokyo, like, it's incredible. However, I mean, we've never, ever seen somebody in this way capture an audience, capture a new audience.
And let's not overlook this. Clark's game drew the third largest crowd of the WNBA season. Bayless, always outspoken, didn't hold back in weighing in on the situation either.
The reality is that as far from a marketing perspective, Caitlin Clark is worth more than almost any pro basketball player.
She took charge of the narrative in a bold and groundbreaking interview with Time magazine, where she was named Athlete of the Year for 2024. In the interview, she dropped a truth bomb that reverberated through the media, captivating audiences worldwide. In a world where accountability is frequently brushed aside, Caitlin Clark boldly confronted an uncomfortable truth. Her success wasn't just the outcome of her relentless work ethic. She acknowledged that it was also shaped by the privileges she was born with. And if you thought that was the end of her revelations, think again. Brace yourself, Clark was just getting started. Next voice. Clark used her platform to spotlight those who paved the way, recognizing the crucial role that Black athletes, like Maya Moore, played in shaping the WNBA. She emphasized how their contributions were vital in elevating the league to its current prominence. As for the world, it wasn't sure how to respond. Some viewed her words as a breath of fresh air, a fearless athlete willing to tackle tough issues head-on. However, others weren't prepared for such a conversation and pushed back with backlash. Caitlin Clark's unparalleled court vision and passing ability elevated her entire team, turning the Iowa Hawkeyes into a must-watch spectacle. Her game shattered viewing records, with the 2024 NCAA Championship attracting 18.7 million viewers, outdrawing both NBA and NFL games. Clark transcended the role of player. She became a cultural icon. Caitlin Clark's brilliance extends beyond her scoring ability. It's her relentless work ethic that truly sets her apart. She often stayed late after practice, perfecting her step-back three, and arrived hours early to refine her skills. Clark's success ignited a movement, inspiring young girls and reshaping the landscape of college basketball. Her influence skyrocketed ticket sales and enrollment numbers, solidifying her role as a trailblazer and a role model for aspiring players. Caitlin Clark's endorsement deals speak for themselves. Nike, Wilson, and State Farm are all on board, signing her for millions without needing any pitch. Her name alone sells products, making her a global icon. Yet, the WNBA has been exposed after revealing Clark's impact on ticket sales. She generates 25% of revenue for the league. Despite this, she only makes $76,000 a year. It's a hard truth. The WNBA has a Goldman and Clark, yet they're paying her like a bench player. Last season, her games drew record-breaking numbers, from sold-out arenas to skyrocketing viewership. The Indiana Fever's home opener tickets hit $271, more expensive than most NBA games. Clark's presence has brought $36 million in revenue to Indianapolis, benefiting the city and its businesses. Meanwhile, she's paid a fraction of that. Fans are furious, questioning why she earns so little compared to her massive influence.